Hello everyone and welcome to Battle of the Beast Reptile Rampage, battle number 21. I'm Adam and today we got the 5th battle of round 2 about to be underway, with 2 more beasts fighting out for one of the last 4 spots left in round 3. So with the 2 beasts participating in this tournament, in this battle rather, we have, I would say, offense versus defense here. And this is an interesting matchup actually. So, representing Series 19, the Kingdom of Dragons, a beast which I feel gets a bit of flack for arguably no reason, and I believe deserves more recognition in the spotlight. Whether she'll get this recognition in this tournament or not, well, we'll find out after this battle. But I'm of course talking about Korvax, the Sea Dragon, versus her opponent, a representative of Series 20, the Isle of Ghosts. This beast was one that I originally despised when it first got released, but then I grew to appreciate more, and now I can safely say this is one of the better battles in one of the better beasts in Series 20. I'm of course talking about Skalix, the Snapping Horror. Ignore the hair, it's kind of annoying me at the moment. So yeah, we got Korvax versus Skalix here. And what I can safely say is, yeah, offense versus defense. Battlefield's going to be I can't say an ocean one. How about a swampy battlefield? And with that, let's get to the stats. Korvax the Sea Dragon. In the frozen waters of Draconia, the Kingdom of Dragons, dwells Korvax, an ice-breathing sea dragon. As if that wasn't terrifying enough, her transparent body displays the poor sea creatures that she has consumed. Questers must be very careful to avoid suffering the same fate. Age 190, power 300, magic level 179, fright factor 89, size 277. Powers and abilities: Ice Body, Cold Adaptation, Flight, Underwater Breathing, Webbed Feet, Ice Breath, Ice Healing and Regeneration, Natural Weaponry, and Enhanced Durability. Weaknesses are Extreme Fire and Heat weakness. Skalix the Snapping Horror. Skalix's broad, muscular body is armoured with black scales, and his teeth are as sharp as daggers. His tail ends in a great club spiked with bony knives, making it difficult for a quester to have any line of attack against this monstrous crocodile. Age 173, power 228, magic level 164, fright factor 86, size 246. Powers and abilities: natural weaponry, natural armor, enhanced strength, enhanced speed, underwater breathing, and underwater breathing. Weaknesses: holes in scales, blinding, and tail removal. Okay, so with the stats done for these 2 beasts, time to get into the battle. As I said, this will be the swampy battlefield, and with that, let's get into this. As the chamber doors open, both beasts immediately exit from their chambers. Korvax goes through the sky exit, lands on a perch, and roars into the arena, letting out a bit of an icy breath, creating a little bit of a misty layer around the arena. The spectators see this and realise they're going to need to pay for full attention, because now they can't see much at all, as Korvax dives into the arena, keeping low so that not even the spectators can see her. Skalix plods his way out with a great thump each step he takes. As he comes out in all his glory, he roars into the arena, making the whole stadium start to shake with his tremendous roar. Korvax sees Skalix, as Skalix still hasn't seen him yet, and Korvax just crawls away along the arena, and then using her ice breath, shoots it on Skalix's legs, trying to pin him down to the ground. As Skalix surveys the arena, trying to find his opponent, he doesn't notice that his legs have been frozen down to the ground. And when Korvax pins Skalix down with the ice entirely, she comes up behind Skalix and bites down onto the back of his neck, trying to sink her teeth into his neck, trying to cause blood to spill. Skalix only jolts his head upwards, headbutting Korvax in that process. Korvax falls back a bit, and as she regains herself, she looks to her left to see Skalix's tail swinging round towards her, knocking her in the head again to the ground in front of Skalix. As Korvax quickly gets back up, she breathes an ice breath over Skalix's mouth, sealing it shut. Skalix just twists his neck a little bit and opens up his jaw to break the ice entirely already. Skalix then goes to take a step forward, but realizes he's been pinned down by the ice. And Korvax just gives a laugh, thinking, you can't get out of this one. Skalix just brushes it off, takes a deep breath, lifts up his one leg, tearing it away from the ice entirely and slamming it onto the ground, shattering the ice around his leg. He does the same with the other legs, and in that moment, Korvax instantly takes to the sky to get out of reach of Skalix's tail as it comes swinging towards her. Korvax, taking being a good space away, just stays in position flapping, trying to figure out what she's going to do to try and take down Skalix. Realizing how defensive this beast is, she realizes that she needs to aim for the weak point. But she doesn't know what the weak point is. But what she does know is if she gets rid of that tail, she has a chance. Korvax immediately dives towards Skalix, dodging a tail blow, but before the tail can come out of reach, she uses her tail, wraps it around Skalix's tail, and using all of her strength, pulls the tail back, trying to pull Skalix. Skalix stands firm, refusing to be pulled back, but his tail is now fully outstretched and, in a way, immobile. Korvax turns her neck and breathes ice directly onto Skalix's tail, trying to freeze the blood flow in it. And as she does that, she lifts up a claw and slams it down onto the ice that's on Skalix's tail and shatters it. But to her dismay, that doesn't shatter the tail. Realizing that Korvax is going to need to try and be a bit more clever with this, she lifts up a claw, swings it down onto the tail, and using her claws tries to dig under the scales to try and peel the scales off. At this point, Skalix realizes what Korvax is doing, and he lifts up his front legs and his head to kind of stand on his rear too, before he violently turns around, pulling the tail out of Korvax's grip, before coming down on all fours again and snapping at Korvax's tail, biting right through the ice, shattering it almost immediately. Korvax roars in pain over this before backing away to a safe distance to breathe ice on what was her tail to regenerate it. Skalix stares at this and just laughs in a mocking tone as Korvax, now angered, dives into the swampy waters below Skalix to go underneath Skalix and try and go for the underbelly, thinking that would be another good weak point. As she does that, Skalix feels the cold encasing around his underbelly as Korvax uses her full body to force her way up through Skalix. Shatters the ice, but not the scales again, as Korvax collides straight into Skalix's wall-like shell. Skalix lifts up his front legs again and slams himself down onto the ground again, slamming Korvax into the swampy depths. As he moves to the side, he lifts up his tail and slams it down where Korvax just was. Korvax sees that and is immediately bludgeoned by the mace-like tail. As Korvax gets regenerated by the water, she comes back out of the water, very dazed from all this, and just stares at this beast who seems to have not taken a single scratch from her bombardment of assaults. Skalix, as Korvax just stays on land staring at Skalix, waiting for him to make a move, Skalix lifts up one foot and immediately starts scurrying over to Korvax. Korvax extends her wings to try and intimidate Skalix off, but that doesn't seem to do the trick at all. She uses her ice breath to create a sort of mist and using her wings to blow it towards Skalix, but Skalix just stays dead set on his target before he jumps up, his front legs anyway, brings himself down, pinning Korvax down onto the ground with his front legs, and using his head, well, his fat teeth rather, he bites down onto Korvax's neck. Korvax screeches in pain over this, but just breathes ice directly where Skalix is biting him, causing the inside of Skalix's head to start freezing and also regenerating Korvax's neck. Skalix lifts up his tail and brings it and pulls it forward, bringing it down onto Korvax's head, knocking Korvax out as her head gets submerged underneath the water. Skalix lifts up his head again, shakes the ice off by moving his jaw around, roaring, and biting down onto not the neck this time, but rather the head. Instantly, he's using his fangs to cut right through the ice, bringing his jaws together as he pulls himself back away from Korvax. He lifts up his front legs again and shatters Korvax's body, leaving just the wings and the tail left, as Skalix makes his way back to his chamber, making sure to constantly double-check himself to make sure that there's no part of Korvax remaining that can regenerate into a living Korvax. With that being said, Skalix has won, Korvax has lost. If you think Korvax should have won, please comment below. I think that how my words final and Skalix moving on to the quarterfinals. So with this battle, there is a beast that I would have preferred to have won. I do need to say, when it comes to defense and a very powerful weapon like that clubtail, I can't really see a way in which Korvax could win this battle, especially with her being made of ice and being quite fragile to blunt force objects. So yeah, unfortunately, Korvax is out, and there are only 2 dragons from the Kingdom of Dragons left. Yeah. We had 4 at the start of this round, but now we have 2. And the other 2 died in back-to-back battles. Will it be 3? I don't know. But until then, that's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press the notification bell down in the corner below, and I'll see you next time.